start with Steve Lichtenstein, WFAN.
Hi, Steve. Are you looking to play this game like it's a must-win, like a playoff game, in terms of who you're going to use and how you're going to use them? Or is it going to be more like yesterday where you were looking to maximize the time the big three, so to speak, had on the court together?
Well, we definitely want to win the game. But, there's also limits to the risks we'll take. So I can't, I could go down the line on every player and what those risks are, but the high level answer is that we want to win the game. We're playing to win. But obviously each player has a different set of parameters that we're okay with tonight.
Brian Lewis, New York Post.
Hey, Steve. Taking that into consideration, do we assume that all of the big three and Blake will be available, although presumably with varying minute limits?
Yeah, possibly. We haven't totally decided yet. So we've had some debate, we've had some conversations, but we haven't made final decisions yet. So I can't report too much at this time. But I think for the most part, all our guys will be playing. We'll see if there's one or two caveats, but I think for the most part, guys will play.
Christian Winfield, New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach. How much are you paying attention to the play-in and the situation right now? It looks like you guys could if you end up with the second seed, you guys could end up with Boston or Washington. Is that something that you guys are paying attention to, or is it just looking at tonight and then you start paying attention to that stuff as the week goes on?
Well, I think we're aware. We obviously know what's left here and what we're playing for, and if we win or we lose, we understand the parameters. So, but at the same time, that's next weekend. Right now we got to worry about tonight and finish the regular season off well and have a good performance, not only for the standings but also for our kind of collective growth going into the playoffs.
Greg Logan, Newsday.
Steve, I have a couple of them. First of all, it sounds like everything with Joe Harris has been precautionary. What is his status going forward in the coming week? And then my second question is about Kyrie last night not playing in the fourth quarter. You had three starters return at about the 7-minute mark. Why did he not return with them?
Yeah, he had played the most minutes, Kyrie. So we were going to put him back in the game if needed a couple minutes after those guys went in, but we didn't need him. So we just decided to err on the side of caution and keep him rested. As far as Joe, he should be ready next weekend, but not tonight, and probably needs a few more days recovery.
Malika Andrews, ESPN.
Steve, I have two. First of all, so on the more recent injury report, all of those guys, the four now and be the case.
Consensus from the players, from the performance team, from the coaching staff, front office, just everyone getting on the same page. So we've had a lot of those conversations, but we're not. I wouldn't say we have 100% of them concluded. So we'll finish that up before game time, obviously, and decide who's if everyone's in or if not everyone's in. But right now, I couldn't say for sure that we've decided.
And then secondly, last night, Kyrie seemed very uninterested in discussing basketball. He was very focused on Israel and Palestine and the conflict there. I'm wondering if he's brought that up, if he's talked about it in practice, if that's something that he's just brought up to us, or if that's something that you've noticed with him lately as well.
No, he hasn't brought it up to us, but I think we all know that he's somebody that has his pulse on humanity and the world and the greater good. So I'm not surprised to hear that, but it's not something he's discussed in at practice or at games.
Tom Dowd, BrooklynNets.com.
Hey, Steve. Jeff Green had a big game for you yesterday. Just curious, to what degree has he kind of played a bigger role or a more impactful role than maybe you might have anticipated at the beginning of the season?
Well, he's a guy that was kind of on his couch a couple of days before we got him. So, we thought he'd be a great fit for us, but you never know what you're going to get. But he's been fantastic. I mean, not only has he been a veteran, an experienced player, great character, quality individual, but he also has been a guy that guards multiple positions, plays multiple positions offensively, makes threes, can be a dynamic roller. can handle the ball. He's just been, a Swiss Army knife of sorts for us, and he's been really, really valuable and important to us this year.
Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
Hey, Steve. We've talked about limited sample size before with the big three and what you can take from that. Is this a game you can maybe take a little more from than some of the others because it's the rare opponent you've had the big three healthy for multiple times before?
Maybe. It's also new. James just getting his legs back under him. Them playing together. It's all so new that I don't know what you take from it other than we got a long ways to go, or hey, this was seamless. So that can also be random to the night, right? That can also be they had a good night tonight, but doesn't mean we're fully formed, or they could have a horrible night tonight and it could be much closer to a really productive understanding. So I don't know. So I guess in a sense, I'm saying that I think the sample size is too small to really make any big conclusions. And I don't know that there's any conclusions to be made. We know they need time together. They're going to get time together if things stay as they are with the injury and health. But we'll have to see. We'll have to adapt and refine this thing as we go.
Matt Brooks, Nets Daily.
Hey, Steve, I got two for you. One, just given that this is your last dress rehearsal, what's the biggest thing you want to see from tonight? And then B, I just want to know if you've been in contact with Spencer about a potential role, with this playoff run on the horizon. And if you...
Sorry, what was the last part?
It was just about Spencer, whether he's going... Yeah.
Tonight, I think the basic necessity is to try to win the game. It's for the second seed. We place value on that. And second would be a good performance, a sharp performance where we try to execute both ends of the floor, and are professional and competitive and play with the requisite physicality and passion. I'm not sure about Spencer. He's been in Los Angeles basically since his surgery, so I don't have necessarily a comment on that. I'm not sure what the plan is for him or what he personally wants to do. So we'll have to just wait and see.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.